Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. In this video you're going to learn how to make this beautiful design over here. And to start with, I have my fabric. I folded it into two and I cut the biggest body measurement plus the side seam allowance. And you can notice here that the back panel is longer than the front panel. You can see the full length of my fabric, my senator measurement is 33. So I made the front panel to be 34 and the back panel is 3 inches longer than the front panel. So to start with, I'm going to draft the front panel first, but I will slant the two together just as I would do in a normal senator. If you also observe, you would see that I folded an excess fabric on the front panel, precisely the right hand side of the front panel, because that is where the design is going to appear. That's why we are having this excess here. This excess is just to use in creating the design. So let's move into slanting of the shoulder. So I'm going to slant the shoulder by 3 inches just at the tip of this point. So I'm going to slant it by 3 inches. Remember to always keep your fabric to be equal from this center point, because that's where everything lies. Okay, when you are done that, you can go ahead and slant it by 3 inches just as you can see. So you just connect it from here to here. So I'm going to cut it off now. I'm going to mark 1 inch here and I'll draw a line. This is always the perfect way of drafting a senator. So after drawing this line, I'm going to fold over this back panel to this side. Remember, if it is a normal senator, all these parts will be the same. But since I'm going to add a design, as I said, that's why I'm having this excess. So after placing it this way, I'm going to iron it. When I'm done ironing, I'll show you the next step. Okay, so you have to iron it down so that you'll be able to draft it well. Okay, so after ironing it down, I'm going to draft the neckline. At this point, I'm going to take 2 inches, and then from the tip of this point down, I'll take 4.5 inches. Remember that is just based on your neck. Like mine, I'm working with round neck of 17 inches. So after drafting it, I'm going to check if what I have there is in line with my neckline that I'm working with. So what I'll do here is to lift the front panel of it and then carefully cut it through this way. Good. After cutting it, so at this point I'll open it up. Now look at this point where there is crease that I folded. So I'm going to mark 1 inch down. I'm going to mark 1 inch down from this point like this. Then I'll go ahead and connect that my marking to this curve. That means I'm marking my back neck depth at this point. Then I will cut it out to follow the marking that I have made. So now I have my perfect senator neck. So when you are done doing this, you can still go ahead and check if your round neck is what you wanted, your desired round neck. If it is not, just place this tape like this round and check. Keep checking. See, at this point I have 16 inches, which is close to, that's 8 inches on fold, which is 16 inches. So the next thing is to draft the shoulder. My shoulder is 18 inches, which is 9 on fold. Then I'm going to mark 9.5 like so on 2 points. Then I'll draw a straight line. Like my bicep measurement is 14 inches, so I'm going to add 1 more inch. That's 14 divided by 2 is 7 inches. Then I will now add 1 more inch to it to make it 8. That's 16 inches. So I'm going to mark my armhole depth at 8 from this point. So take note of that when you are marking your armhole depth. Don't do it in such a way that the outfit is not fitting. Okay, so as I'm done doing that, the next thing that I will do is to create the armhole curve. Remember that the armhole curve for the front and the back is quite different. So for the front part of it, I like folding my tape into 2, what I had as my armhole depth. Then I'll mark the midpoint, then come in by 0.75 like so. Then I would connect it to my chest line this way. But before then, let me just mark the chest measurement, which is 44. That's 11 inches. So I'm marking my 11 inches there plus my 1 inch seam allowance. So that's where it is. So I'll connect it to this 11 inches like this from here to here. Then I'll take it back to this point. I hope you are following. So I'm not going to cut out everything. So what I'll do now is to just cut out this upper part of it, just as I said, until I'm done with the design. Before I'll cut the other part of it. So I've cut it off like this. So I can just take it up and cut the back side like this. Okay. So this is what I will have for the back side. I may decide not to cut it further. Let's just stop it there. When I'm done with the design, I will continue with cutting the back side and also shaping of the fabric. So now that I've gotten the front part, let's move into the design. So with me here, I have cut out my pockets. This is a good collar stay. Always use the best one so as to achieve what you want to achieve. So I have my collar stay here. So the collar stay width is for the long strap is 1.5, and I make sure that the length should be able to cover this front panel like this. See, so I'll trim it off thereafter. But for now, let me just take this. So when I'm sure of where my pocket will be positioned and how it will consume everything, I'll trim off the excess. So let me just maintain it that way. But ensure that it starts from the shoulder point to somewhere where your pockets will be. So just that's the length of the collar stay for this. So my pocket length is 7 inches by 6 inches. So I will fold it over like this. So this is what I have. I'll take 1.25 here by 1.25 here after folding it off, and I'll use my cuff ruler to cuff it out this way. This one, that cuff on the cuff to come out this way. See? Okay, so I'm going to trim it up. Yeah, so now I've cuffed it to my desired shape. So I'm going to paste this on my plain material. I'll paste this on this plain material, paste this on this plain material, then I'll paste this, I'll paste this ST. I've gotten an ST for this. So this strap here is going to be this 4 inches by 14 inches. So that this is what I'm going to use in cutting out those pieces. Just watch out what I'll do after pasting it. Okay, coming over to this panel, you can see this is where the center of the shoulder is. I have here 7 inches from the neckline to the armhole. So I'm going to divide it into two like this, and this is what I have, 3.5 inches. So from here I'll still come in by half inch like this. So from this point here, from this point here is where my design will start. Call it 3 inches away from the neckline. So I'll open it up this way. Okay, so when I open it up like this, remember it's going to be 3 inches. So I'm going to mark 3 inches at this point. And since I'm going to fold in this side by 1 inch, that's half inch like this, and it will be 1 inch. So I will not take the 3 inches again to be the midpoint. I'll take 4 inches because of the 1 inch that I'm going to fold over on this side. So the midpoint from this neckline is going to be 4 inches. Then I will trace this at this center point to that my 4 inches that I marked from the neckline. How many inches do I have? So which means I'll have my 6.5 inches at this point. So that's now going to be my midpoint. So I'm going to mark my 6.5 inches here. I'm marking it on 2 points or 3 points. I'm marking it on more points to have my straight line. So I will mark my straight line there. This is my straight line. Okay, So now I'm going to go over to the ironing table. Let me explain what I will do on the ironing table. I will come in by 1.5, I mean 0.75, because I want the space to be 1.5, 0.75 on this part and 0.75 on this other part. That means 0.75 here and 0.75 here. So I'm going to still draw another line. So remember that the width of my design is going to be 1.5. So I'm drawing 0.75 on both sides here. So now that I'm able to see, get the width of my design, so the design is going to fall here. So I'm going to fold in like 1 inch. Remember the 1 inch that I added to that thing, to this front. So I'll fold in that 1 inch. I'll pick it up like this and place it here and give it a good press. I'll also do the same thing in this other side. 1 inch, pick it up from here, place it on this other side and give it a good press all through. Then when I'm done, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So guys, this is what I've been explaining. At this point I have finished ironing it out, just as I said. Look at it here. You can see that I have ironed it down like this. So the space that is left here from here to here is 1.5 inches. So I have also made the pockets. You can see I'm not going to do a false pocket, rather I want to make it a real pocket, and this is where the pocket is going to be. Remember, I'm going to fold this down by 2 inches, so coming up here by 3 inches is where I'm going to place my pocket. That's the down part of my pocket is going to be at 5 inches from the top length. That's the full length including the hemming allowance, because I'm going to fold it over by 2 inches. So that's where I'm going to place the pocket. And this particular strap, see what I have done? I iron it down with the edge there, then I had to close it up using my hemming gum so as to make it relax. This is what I'm going to be cutting into this part like this. So I'll cut like 4 of it. Each of them should be like 2.5 inches. I'm going to cut it now. So guys, at the end of the day, this is what I got, and you can see how beautiful it looks. So the next thing is to use this strap. Remember, I use my collar stay to make this strap, the one I cut out 1.5 inches. So this is what I'm going to insert right into this point. So okay, so guys, as I said, this is the pockets that I'm going to use. So I'll just mark the points. After inserting it like this, I'm going to mark the points at 5 inches here. Then I'll place the pocket like this and top stitch round. So I'm going to top stitch it, making sure that the center of the pocket is at this place. And I'll top stitch it around. So guys, after stitching the pockets, this is what I had. It looks so beautiful. You can see now. Wow, this is beautiful. This is cool. So what I've done here is to top stitch this point, because this is the level I want it to be. So just to top stitch it, I'm going to insert a button here, printed button or anyone. Then when you are done with that, you can go ahead and cut off your front panel the way you want it to be. Now you can see that everything is even aligning already. So you just go ahead and trim out your armhole. Then you can now place the back panel to the front panel together. And that's just what we have for this design. Hoping that you must have learned one thing or the other. Do well to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so that whenever I drop a new video, you'll get it. At the end of the day, I may choose to use a printed button here or this particular button depending on what I want. So that's it for the style. So thank you very much for being there. See you in my next video. Bye bye for now.